The title of today's post is "What are some cooking myths that frustrate you?" which is under the cooking subreddit. So as always, we're going to start by looking at top rated ones first, and then we can jump into the spicy ones. First one is from Ray Kramer, and he says that most internet recipes severely underrate how long things take. If you're really proficient with a recipe, it usually takes you a lot less than if you're doing it for the first time. But here's the thing, when we're posting things, we do want to attract people, right? So this guy is mentioning here Rachel Ray with her 30-minute meals. Like, nobody's gonna look at your recipe if it's like a 90-minute meal. And that attracts a lot more views, clicks in our case. That's why you see a lot of recipes like Gordon Ramsay has a new series that is called like 15 minutes meals. And if you just watch him, no way that's gonna take you 15 minutes. Like, Gordon is just jumping up and down everywhere. He has his things already prepped. It's just because it gets you there. It gets your attention. And that's why most people do it. As consumers of recipes out there, we should take the time with a grain of salt. So usually reserve a bit more time than the recipe says. Salting pasta water helps it cook faster. I haven't heard this before. I never salt my pasta water because it helps to cook it faster. It's just the fact that if you add salt to the water that you're boiling something in, that salt will carry over to the things you're boiling. So if you're doing potatoes, pasta, vegetables and so on, it's a really good way to layer in the salt. So you can add a bit of salt when you're boiling, and then you can add a bit more when you're cooking that. Yeah, I think that's like more what it is about. Yeah, here we go again with the MSG is bad for you. Yeah, I think this is one that like require a separate video on its own. It's something that people are so afraid of, but most of the processed things that we buy from the store have a bit of MSG in it. It's not a bad thing, it's just flavor boosting. It's like saying that salt is bad for you. Of course, too much salt is bad for you, but you still need to add some salt to the food you're cooking in order to give it the flavor that it needs. Let's do another two for the top most rated ones, and then we're gonna go into the spicy ones, alright? Only cook with wine you drink, and don't use cooking wine. There is no reason to buy cooking labeled wine, which is usually like a wine that you wouldn't use for anything else. But then on the other side, if you like wine, then you probably wouldn't put, I don't know, $30, $50 or $100 bottle of wine in your cooking, right? So the idea is that you don't need cooking wine, don't buy something that is labeled as cooking wine, just buy a cheap wine. And that should get you covered for everything. Oh yeah, this one with the cast iron pans, it's a lot of people on the internet like propagating this idea that the cast iron is this super special piece of metal that needs to be babied, and even if it sees like dish soap, it's just going to disintegrate, so don't use it and so on. The reality isn't that bad. As far as cast iron pans go, they definitely require a bit more maintenance than a Teflon one, which you just use it for 2 years and then you throw it away, right? The cast iron pan is something that can hold for multiple lifetimes. So that means that you want to make sure that it doesn't rust. You want to make sure that it develops a really good seasoning and it keeps that seasoning. And in order to do that, you kind of have to be careful with it. You definitely wouldn't put it in a dishwasher or just go crazy with scrubbing it with some really abrasive stuff. But there's no issue if you use a little bit of dish soap. Alright, so this one, I know just from talking with different friends and family and so on, some people have this idea that you should wash chicken before you cook with it. You honestly don't need to do that. There's two reasons why. First one is that most of the chicken you buy is already pretty well processed, so whatever you're cooking, it's going to get all the germs cooked away out of it. Unless maybe if you get some locally sourced farm-raised chicken, maybe they weren't cleaned as good as they could be, like maybe there's some dirt or something that you need to clean out, then that would warrant you to wash it a little bit, but that's the only situation where you might need it. And the second thing why you would want to avoid is spreading bacteria. Even though there's a really small possibility for this happening, when you wash the chicken, all the water that combines with the raw chicken can splash all over the place, and that could develop salmonella in maybe surfaces that you don't want it to. Alright, so we went through some of the top ones. There's definitely a lot more. I'll leave a link to the Reddit post so you can go through it if you want to see more. Let's sort by controversial and see if there's something spicy there that we can look at. So here's an actual myth in the list. It's about not putting garlic and onion at the same time in the pan when you're trying to fry them, because the garlic is gonna burn. Just from personal experience, that's not actually true what this guy is saying here, that if you put them together, the water contents of the onion will keep the garlic from not burning. That's because all that the water contents of the onion will do is just keep itself from not burning, but not the garlic that is just sizzling in the oil next to it. The onions take way longer to actually soften up and cook than garlic. So if that's what you want, it actually is a really good thing to put them at separate times. But at the same time, if you're cooking something Asian, it seems that garlic is the one that goes in first. So you're actually looking for that kind of burnt garlic flavor. It all depends on what you're cooking, but for the most Western recipes, that's how it goes and the reason why it goes like that. So I wouldn't say this is a myth that should frustrate you, because I mean, it's frustrating that you have to cook them separately, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's how it works. So there's nothing we can do about that. Cilantro makes things taste better. How is this a myth? Like, come on. Like, this isn't a myth. Cilantro does make things taste better. That is, if you don't have the gene that makes it taste like dish soap, which I have, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean that I need to hate on it. There's a lot of Mexican cuisine, there's a lot of Vietnamese or more on the Asian side of things that use cilantro a lot. So I think it does make things taste better. Maybe not for everyone, maybe not for me, maybe not for you, but it is the reason why it is used everywhere. It's just a personal opinion. This isn't a myth, so nope. Next. If you don't let the food to cool down fully before putting it in the fridge, it will go bad and not be good to eat. I didn't know it's something that's really specific to Florida. I think it's just globally, because I heard it everywhere and I haven't been to Florida. And this is just complete BS, right? The first reply here is that this is a health risk, and that is true. Most people think that it's not possible to put warm food in the fridge, which is fine. The fridge can take that. Especially when it comes to food, there is a temperature range which is called the danger zone, and you don't want your food to stay in that temperature range for too long, because it is perfect for bacteria to grow. And there's a lot of bacteria that as soon as it grows and it releases its toxins, you can't cook it off. So it's not like you can just put it back on the stove and cook it for whatever time and it's fine to eat. And that ranges between, I think it's 5 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius. At 60 degrees, most people will still consider the food to be warm. You would drink some tea that you feel is warm enough. So that's why you should still put it in the fridge when it's a bit warm. So do your research about this. There's something that will make your life easier. So I hope you like this, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Bye.